Hi everyone, welcome back to Scrummy. Today I'm making brown scones. I've had a couple of people ask if I'd share a recipe for them. So the recipe I'm sharing today is my mum's recipe. These are the scones she always made when I was growing up. They're a lovely scone and I really hope you enjoy them too. I'm going to include lots of tips and tricks for making scones in this video, so stay tuned. The first tip I have for you, when my mum made scones, she always heated a tray on the range. So what I do is I pop a tray into my preheated oven before I start. So I've done that already. So in here, I've got some wholemeal flour, and into there, I'm gonna add in some plain or all-purpose flour. I'm gonna add some raising agent now, and I'm adding baking powder, and I'm adding a little bit of bicarbonate soda, baking soda. So mix that in. Now in goes the butter, and I've frozen my butter and grated it. It does help get a nice rise on your scone. It's also an easier way to get the butter rubbed into the flour. So we're going to rub this in now until we've got like a breadcrumb consistency. The wholemeal flour is a little bit rougher than plain flour, so it can take a little bit longer, but not that much longer. I'm happy with that. That's lovely. So in here I'm going to add in some brown sugar. You can use white sugar either, or you can use some honey. You can pop that into your buttermilk instead if you prefer to use honey. And some porridge oats. If you don't have porridge oats, just add in the same amount of either plain flour or wholemeal flour. Going to mix that in. All right, next up it's the buttermilk. I'm going to add about 3/4, and I will add more if I need it. It's safer to add some and then add more. Just see how you get on. So get that in there and mix it. What I'm going to do, like I always do when I'm making scones or anything like this, get my hands in here, a little bit of flour on the hands, and get the hands in and bring it together. Another tip for you when you're making scones is not to overhandle the dough. I like to bring it together in the bowl like that till I get a nice round dough ball, and that's perfect. So I'm going to pop this onto my worktop now, a little bit of flour, and I'm just going to shape this. Try and get it nice and smooth on the top. And then flatten it down into a circle you want about 1 inch in height. That's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to cut these out. So you can use different rings. I'm going to use a 6 centimeter. This one is a 7 and this one's an 8. Obviously, the bigger your rings, the less scones you'll have. So I'm going with the small one. And I like to just pop this in a bit of flour. It's good to have a nice deep ring as well. So I'm going to just push that down. You don't want to turn your ring because that affects the rise. So pop that out. So there we've got one nice little scone. Continue doing that. So just do that until you've got all the dough used up. And there they are. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 10. And for the last bit that's left over, I just roll it up any old way, like that. And I'll pop it in the oven too. All right, so now we're going to get these onto my hot tray. We're ready now to get our scones onto my baking tray. It's lovely and hot. So I'm just going to pop the scones a little bit close together, but not on top of one another. I like to snuggle them up close because when they bake into one another. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to just brush a little bit of egg on the top. It's important when you're using egg or buttermilk, you could use buttermilk either, is not to let this drip down the sides of the scones because it can affect the rise of the scone. I like the egg because it gives it a nice golden colour, but you can use buttermilk either. Great, these are ready now for the oven, so we're going to get them into the oven for about 20 minutes. My brown scones are fully baked. You can see that they have risen really well. They're lovely golden colour and they smell really good. So we're going to let these cool down on the tray for about half an hour before I cut into one of them. Now that the scones have cooled, it's time to enjoy one. I love how they've turned out. Perfectly golden, soft and crumbly. Just look at that texture, light and crumbly, with a lovely wholemeal richness. The best way to enjoy scones is with butter and a generous spread of jam or marmalade. I like marmalade. The combination of richness and tanginess is lovely. And that's my batch of homemade brown scones, simple and delicious. Give the recipe a try and let me know what you think. Happy baking everyone, enjoy. Happy baking everyone.